So people often ask me, why go indie when traditional publishing is supposed to be the dream? Hi, I'm Diane Hatz, founder of the Hearth Network. For me, indie publishing wasn't second best or like my last resort. It was a deliberate choice. Going indie gave me creative freedom, control, and a timeline that matched my life, not someone else's. If you're new here or if you've been with me for a while, please subscribe for weekly Hearth Talks on writing, creativity, and living authentically. So, at its heart, indie publishing means ownership and keeping control of your work, your words, your design, your pace. You get to decide what your book looks like and when it's released. Traditional publishing, on the other hand, often means gatekeepers. You're waiting on agents, editors, and publishers. You also spend an inordinate amount of time, unless you're fortunate, and there are people who are, but you can spend an inordinate amount of time looking for an agent. That can take literally years. The agent then can take years to try to get your book published. If you find an agent, the agent might want you to make major edits on your work, edits that you might not want to make. So you'd have to decide on leaving that agent or doing what they say. Then if you get a traditional publisher, their editors in-house might want you to make changes to your book. You do not have control over your book cover. That's extremely rare. So sometimes you don't even have control over the editing process. So you give up so much of your art when you go to a major publisher. Some people are fine with that. Personally, I wasn't. And there's also a trend now, I'd say. I don't know if it's a trend, but it is not uncommon, or it's becoming more common for people to start indie and then have a bigger publisher approach them. And then that way you'll get a larger advance and you'll get a better contract that way. So, like I mentioned, all these timelines, they can stretch into years. And along the way, I mean, you have to make a lot of compromises. So the trade-off is this. Indie gives you freedom, but it also gives you full responsibility. You're the publisher, the project manager, the marketer. It's a lot, but it's also yours. So when I published my first book independently, it's Rock Gods and Messy Monsters, I felt like I'd really accomplished something. And not just by writing it, but by taking it through every step of the process until I got a physical copy in my hands. I mean, because of this book, I have my own publishing company. And fair enough, I'm only publishing myself, but who knows? Maybe next year I'll start publishing other people. I mean, you never know. I guess I'm the personality type. I have an entrepreneurial spirit. So yeah, there's no other way but indie. And because I had decided on my own publishing path, because there's things like with book 4 that I'm writing now, I got really overwhelmed. I was trying to get the book done and out December 2025. And just a week or two ago, I was just like, what am I doing to myself? I've pushed it to June 2026. And I've decided if June 2026, like if I'm still stressed then, I'm pushing it till September 2026. I can do that because I have the rights, the control, like I have the ability to do whatever I choose to do. So indie publishing, and this is a fact, is not the easy way. It comes with work and challenges. And I think I might pay people to format. Formatting, it's not that difficult, but it's just to me, it's like pulling teeth. Just don't want to format the book. And that's not very expensive to have someone do. And this is the thing about indie is indie doesn't mean you do absolutely everything yourself. I pay a designer to do the book cover. I have beta readers. I've hired editors to edit the book. But like with an editor, they can suggest, but I have final say. So you're not doing everything. Marketing, I'm going to be meeting with a marketing company. When this 4th book, when it's finished, the series will be finished and I will start to do like intense marketing of the whole series. And maybe I will hire a marketer for some marketing help. At a major publisher, those costs are generally covered. But when it comes to marketing, a more traditional publisher will launch your book. Maybe if you're lucky, you get 3 months. Could be like 6 weeks now, but you get the launch and then you're on your own. I've heard many writers just tell me how shocked they were at how they just got no help. So anyway, I hope I've convinced you. Go indie. Indie is the way to go, but it is a lot of work. But you get freedom, you get ownership. Like if you want to get your book and open it and be like, this is my book, indie's the way to go. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've dreamed of publishing, what matters most to you, freedom or support? And I'm going to say this, you can get support by going indie, but you generally are going to be paying for it. So share your reflections in the comments. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.